Hello, welcome. This is Akita here, and this is Gamer IRL. You're probably wondering why the video quality is so much lower than my previous one. Because in the previous one, I was using my mobile phone, which has a pretty good camera on it. Or I should say, did. I'll get to that, don't worry. But now, at the moment, I'm using this shitty little webcam I've just got sitting up on top of my monitor. Anyway, I've got two bits of news today. Good and bad. For starters, let's move that. There you go. And let's start with the good news. I finally got myself the PS3 I've been promising myself, essentially. That's a story in itself. I mean, it was crazy. Well, I looked everywhere for one, for a decently, moderately priced one. Cheapest I could find was 130 in game, so I got that. Overspent, probably just a little that I probably was looking to spend. I was only looking to spend about 100, 110 at most. So I left myself a little short this week. But anyway, I digress. Why do I always say digest? It's late. It's late. At the moment of recording this, it is, I have no idea, 2 o'clock in the morning. That's probably why. But anyway, finally got myself the PS3 I've been asking. It's the 320 gig model, which ain't bad considering I've been doing a lot of downloading. The last 2 days have been nothing but me downloading. First it was an update, obviously. Then I purchased the PlayStation Plus for 1 month. I didn't want to do a big subscription just to 1 month because obviously I didn't have much money left with after. But buying that, I downloaded 3 games for free. 3 games. That is amazing. Just for being on PlayStation Plus, I saved myself a ton of money. The first was DMC Devil May Cry. Throat, still bad. I will be going to the doctor's Monday morning, hopefully. Fingers crossed. But anyway, DMC Devil May Cry. The playthrough I've done before was on my Xbox 360, so I have none of my save data and none of my DLC on my PlayStation, which sucks, but it was free, so why not, right? I haven't got it for the Xbox at the moment, so I'll wait until I can get it for the Xbox again so I can play the rest of my DLC and do what else I need to do left. The second game was Uncharted 3, Drake's Deception. I've never played an Uncharted game. I know, it's a big shocker. Never played an Uncharted game, but I've seen a lot of it and it looks fantastic, and hey, it was free. Who complains? The only little complaint I have, in total, about 20 gigabytes. No, 25. Around 30 gigabytes in total. That's huge. 30 gigs. Taking me days, not just to do that one thing. No. I'll get. So the first thing I downloaded was DMC. Second thing I downloaded, well, that was the second game I bought, but because it was such a big file, I waited. The second game I downloaded was Borderlands 2. Again, never played it. I'm not a big shooter fan, but Borderlands looks interesting. I've played about. I've played about an hour, maybe 2, of Borderlands 2 so far. I'm really enjoying it. It's different from what I usually play. And then obviously I've downloaded Uncharted as well, but and not just them 3 I got for free, which is amazing. It saves me a ton of money just for buying 1 month's PlayStation Plus, which was about £6 at most. Anyway, and then I went ahead and bought for about £6, £7 again because of PlayStation Plus makes it cheaper. Ni no Kuni. And there's my cat. Yeah, attention seeking. Anyway, Ni no Kuni, Wrath of the White Witch. I love that game. It is so beautiful. You have no idea. If you've played it, you have an idea. If you haven't, you have no idea. The art designer and character designer and the artist in general is Studio Ghibli. Yeah, Studio Ghibli. Probably the greatest anime movies ever, basically. Just to name a couple off the top of my head, there's Princess Mononoke, there's Spirited Away, there's Howl's Moving Castle. I can keep going, but I just can't be bothered. Well, Totoro, obviously. There's loads, and they designed that game. The voice acting, the scripting, all of it. It is fantastic. I love it. Even in English. Even using English dubs, it's actually really good. Normally with JRPGs, I would prefer to play them in Japanese with English subtitles because that's just the way to do things. But hey, it works. I was really surprised first time I ever played it, which was a while ago, but hey. Anyway, the story about getting my PS3 was fantastic. There was that overspending. And when I got it home, the PS3 booted fine. It worked fine. The pad did not. I mean, the pad was just a basic one, just like this. But the buttons didn't work. The 4 buttons there didn't work. Up and down didn't work. The shoulder buttons did nothing. And trying to work it was obviously impossible. It just did not work. And every now and then, it would, I don't know, just malfunction or something. It would sort of slide across the screen just multiple times, or press things. Randomly press things. Like it tried to sign me in to a PlayStation, my PSN, when I didn't have one yet. Which I did, but it just weren't on there yet, obviously. Because I have had one in the past. Not, whatever. Anyway. And it was just spazzing out, so I took the pad back to game. I left the console because the console was fine. I took the pad back to game, and they tested it. They didn't realise how broken it was. God knows why. They probably just didn't play test it. I don't know. Anyway, they tested it. At first, it seemed to work fine for the guy. So I was thinking, damn, maybe it's the console. Maybe I have to come back and get the console. But as soon as I started thinking that, the pad spazzed out on him too. It flew to the other side of the screen and hit the turn off console button. And he was trying to do stuff, couldn't do it. Then he handed it to another guy, and all he done was felt the pad, felt the buttons, and said, yeah, that's broken. Straight away, because he can tell just by pushing the buttons that they weren't functioning right, they just weren't pressing properly. Then he obviously exchanged out for a new one. I got it home, tested it, worked fine, kind of. The pad works fine, but I have 3 charging cables. These ones, like the USB to micro USB, that's the charging cable for the PS3 pad, by the way, in case you didn't know. But anyway, I've got 3 of them cables. One really long one, one moderately long, and one really short one. Guess which one worked? Yeah, it's pretty obvious. The longest one didn't work at all, because that's the one that came with it, so of course it didn't fucking work. The shorter one I had barely worked. It was very spazzy, like it would be charging it, slightest movement, no longer charging. And then my shortest one works perfectly fine. And you want to know how short it is? That short. That is the only one of my cables that works. So when I'm charging my pad, I have to be really close to my machine. Or just have it on the side, you know, charging it when I'm not using it. And I would rather sit a little bit further away so I could just sort of sit back and game. No problems. Anyway, on to my bad news. I have some bad, annoying news. And this is the reason why I'm using my webcam and not my mobile. My mobile's not working. Plain and simple. Basically, I woke up this morning and it was off, which was very weird because my phone doesn't go off when I leave it at night, because I have it charging, so it's constantly fully charged, and I have it so the time like displays there, and it stays on basically throughout the night, because I have this annoying habit of waking up during the night and not knowing what time it is, obviously. So I look at the time. If it's way too early for me, I'll just go straight back to sleep. But as you can tell, this is the little button here. Pushing the button, well, not pushing it, holding it, does that, makes the light flicker. So that makes me think the battery's dead. I'll just charge it. It won't charge. It will not charge. I do not know why. I'm fairly certain this has broken, the charging bit. That on my battery is flat. That can't be it though, because if the battery was flat, it would still work while being plugged in. But having it plugged in, there's no light. Normally a little red light shows up when it's charging. There's no light. But if I push the button to turn it on, the light comes on, like while I'm holding it. And the phone will not come on. Won't vibrate to let me know the battery is low or dead. Normally, if the battery's dead, I push that and it vibrates once to tell me, hey, there's no life. This is where it embarrasses me by actually working. Fingers crossed. I would actually, if that worked, I would still post this part. I wouldn't edit this part out. But nothing. Nothing. I can't get it on, so there goes my alarm clock as well, by the way, because this was also my alarm clock. I don't have an alarm clock. So if I need to be up early, fuck my life. Yeah, nothing. Nothing. If anyone knows what problem this is, please let me know, because I really need to know. For reference, this is a Sony Xperia T, not the Z, the T. It's a fairly decent phone. I got it for the camera. It's got a full HD 1080p camera there, 720 on front. That's the front camera is the one I normally use for my vlogs, not the back one, because the back one has this weird, annoying autofocus which doesn't seem to go away. See, not pressing it, no light. Don't know if you can really see that. Yep. Press the button, light. Not pressing it, no light. Press it, light. Yeah, little magic trick. I push the button and light comes on, but does nothing else. That's the magic trick. My phone's broken. Enjoy! Oh. I hope I don't have to buy a new phone, because I do not have the money for that right now. Just bought a fucking PS3. I can't afford to buy a new phone. Oh man, it sucks. It really, really sucks. You know what else sucks? Downloads. I'm still downloading Uncharted 3. Well, one of the parts of Uncharted 3. You have to download the single player mode, which is the only mode I want to play. You have to download the single player, obviously. You have to download the multiplayer mode. I don't even want to fucking play the multiplayer mode. Why the fuck should I have to download that? But anyway, I downloaded them two. And it's all free, don't worry. It was all free. Downloaded them two, booted up the game, went to play campaign, and it said, please download and install the 2D movies package. I was like, oh, okay. So what's that then? The cinematics, I assume, they're in a separate file for some stupid reason. So I thought, okay, I'll download that as well. Still free. But the single player mode was 12 gigabytes. Which annoyed me, because that took a little while to download, even at my download speeds. Which is, it's not fantastic, like 50 to 80 plus, nothing like that. But for where I am, for my area, I've got really good internet speed. I've got 23 megabyte download speed, which is pretty damn good. But anyway, I digress. The first one was 12 gigabytes, which did take a couple of hours to do, sure. The second one was only 5, so that barely took an hour. The multiplayer mode. The 2D movie packet, which I thought was going to be small, no, 13 gigabytes. It's bigger than the fucking game. How many cinematics are in this game? Is it going to be a Beyond Two Souls thing where there's nothing but cinematics? But then again, I know that isn't true because I know there's a shit ton of gameplay. I've seen quite a bit of the game, so it's not a cinematic action thing. It's just got a ton of stuff to it, I assume. And yet, the 2D movie package was 13 gigabytes. There was a 3D movie package, which I assume is for 3D TVs and the like, was 12 gigabytes. How the hell is the 3D one smaller than the 2D one? I have no clue. I cannot wrap my mind around that. It's so flustered, I'm getting tongue-tied. And I'm kind of tired because it is probably around 2:15 by now. So I've just been waiting for this to download so I can install it, which is probably going to take another hour. That's one thing I do not like about the PS3. Well, there's a few things, but the one thing I do not like mainly is having to install every game. Every fucking game. You put a disc in, installs. I put Devil May Cry 4 in because I had to replace my Xbox copy because it had the little really bad laser burn. It did not work. So I bought the PS3 version just because it was cheap. It was only like £3. Put it in. Took 20 minutes to install. 20 minutes to install before I can even play the game, and that was a small game. What about when I get Final Fantasy 14? I'm definitely buying that, and I will be playing that. If anyone wants to add me on my PlayStation and then add me on Final Fantasy 14, I don't know what server I'm going to go on because I have no idea. But my PlayStation Network account is obviously Akitahiru, same as my YouTube channel. So there you go. There's that. Man, it's just been chaotic today, I guess. Well, I'm going to go because I'm actually kind of hungry. I haven't eaten properly today, so I'm going to go cook something. I'm not annoying my neighbours because all my neighbours are owls. They are night owls. Everyone's up during the night. It's crazy. Luckily they're not loud during the night, so that's a plus. Anyway, I will see you next time. Take care. Bye bye now.